Hi. So my questions to you this week are, what are the sources of light and what are the sources of dark? Now, hopefully you would have all said that the main source of light that we have here on Earth is the sun. And you may also have mentioned or thought about the stars. And a quick Google search will tell you that there's a few others that you may not have thought about, like fire, electricity in the sky, and by that I mean lightning. And even some plants and animals produce their own light, like jellyfish or fireflies, and apparently mushrooms. Artificial light is created by humans, and by that I mean light bulbs. But what about things like the moon? It shines a source of light at night, right? What about mirrors or even your pet cat's eyes? They shine a source of light sometimes. Are they shining a source of light or are they reflecting? Those things like the moon and mirrors and even your cat's eyes, they don't create the light, they just reflect the light. But what about my second question, the source of dark? Can you think of any? Imagine you're camping and you're in your tent and you wake up in the middle of the night and there's no camping lights, you don't have a torch, the fire has gone out and the light on your phone doesn't work. I mean, you're in a field surrounded by nothing and there's no buildings around, this field is in the middle of nowhere and you're just in complete darkness. What is the source of that darkness? The answer is there is no source of darkness, only the absence of light. And in a moment I'm going to read you a few lines from the Bible which talks about light and it talks about the source of light. And I really would encourage you after my video to go away and read these words for yourself. And you can find them in the book of John in chapter 1, and I'm reading verses 1 to 18. And this book of John is in a part of the Bible that we call the Gospel. When you read the verses on your own, I would encourage you to think about it. Think about what you are reading and how it relates to your life personally. My suggestion is to grab a piece of paper and a pen and divide it into 4 columns. At the top of each column, you're going to write a name, and the 4 columns are candle, arrow, question mark, and the last one is wow. Every time you read a phrase, take a note of one. Anything that sheds light, place it in the column that says candle. Anything that sparks your conscience, place it in the arrow column. If you don't understand something, those go in the question mark column. And a verse that makes you think, wow, that's right, they go in the wow column. Choose one phrase and one verse from what you have read through and from all of those columns, and just choose one that really stands out to you. Think about why it stands out so much, and also what does it mean to you today, now as you're reading it. Don't worry if at the end of the exercise you have a lot in the question mark column. We all do at times. And if there's anything that you want to ask me about, then please do. So I'm going to read to you from John chapter 1, verses 1 to 18. And it's titled, The Word Became Flesh. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. There was a man sent from God, whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify concerning that light, so that through him all might believe. He himself was not the light. He came only as a witness to the light. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision, nor of a husband's will, but born of God. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. John testified concerning him. He cried out, saying, "This is the one I spoke about when I said, 'He who comes after me has surpassed me, because he was before me.' Out of his fullness we have all received grace in place of grace already. For the law has been given through Moses, grace and truth come through Jesus Christ. And no one has ever seen God but the one and only Son, who is himself God and is in closest relationship with the Father, has made him known." Now after the video, go away and read those verses again. It's quite a lot to go through. And remember to put those verses into those columns. Part of the story that I read to you in these phrases and in these sentences was about a light, and that the light has come. And Jesus is that light. He is the light of the world and is God in human form. Now that's quite a lot to take through and to take in. And I just want to read one verse to you again so that it stands out, and it says, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." So why worry about a source of darkness when there is a source of light and a source of truth that we can each know? And the thing that I want you to think about and take away from today again is, do you remember that moon? And that moon is a reflector. It doesn't create a source of light, but it reflects light. Consider yourself as a moon. You're a reflector. What are you reflecting? Are you reflecting the source of light? The true light? God's word tells us that Jesus is the light. Are you reflecting that light? Are you reflecting artificial light, or are you reflecting no light at all? So if you've read those verses for yourself and you have any questions that you want to ask me, please get in touch. Or if you just want somebody to chat with or to pray with you, then I'd be so happy to do that too. I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye.